Hello, dear friends. I'm glad to see you all here. Today I'm going to tell you about our local wonder. That is why, by the end of my performance, I want you to find out what makes it unique and attractive. You will make notes and describe the wonder using the table. Where is it situated? When was it described first? Why do many people come to this place? What can visitors do here and how can they get there? Now let's start. As you can see at the next slide, it is a salty lake called Elton. In spite of severe weather, it's hard to find a place that can be compared with its beauty and variety of landscapes. Of course, people come here to be treated, because not only mud, brine and mineral water treat people, but also a quiet and calm nature itself. First of all, I'd like to tell you about the origin of its name. On the one hand, it is said that the name of our lake comes from Kalmyk or Tatar Altın Nur, which means golden lake, because of purple-red color of water, which you can usually watch in the afternoon. On the other hand, it is proved by Russian publicists that there was a British scientist who discovered the lake during his expeditions across the Volga steppe and described this salt lake first in the middle of the 18th century. Thereby, it was called after his surname Elton. At the next slide, you can see some interesting facts about the lake. First of all, the lake was used for regular salt production, which was started at the time of Ivan the Terrible and lasted up to the end of the 19th century. After that, at the beginning of the 20th century, St. Elton was built. And as you may have guessed, visitors came here, can't swim in the lake because it becomes 5 or 7 centimeters deep, especially in summer, as hot sun evaporates water, leaving salty sediment brine. Despite the long distance from regional center, this place has become the most prestige and expensive resort in Russia because its air is clean, extremely easy to breathe, and people feel special courage and burst of energy after treatment. That is why it is really unique lake, because there are several freshwater springs and a deep salty mud which has a high medicinal property. The mud is dense, that is why it is used for export. And so the lake has the most effective mud in Europe. And that is why it's not surprisingly that for its medicinal properties, Elton is not inferior to the Dead Sea's muds, because it has unique medical properties. It stimulates blood circulation, accelerates the generation of skin, improves and strengthens the nervous system. Unfortunately, the lake has at the same time some disadvantages. One of them is that the lake is much far from the major settlements. The second one is that there is a lack of advertising. And the next one is that there is a lack of tourism infrastructure. Nevertheless, our resort is developing, and vacationers and tourists can find different entertainments here. They can stay not only in the medical building, but also in these beautiful houses. After salt and mud baths, they can visit Natural Park Eltonsky, or the next wonderful place. It is the Ethnographical Museum Alten. And in the bottom of this slide you will see a telephone number of the founder of this museum. He is a usual teacher. He works in the secondary school in the village Elton. And if you come to this website, I'm sorry, once more. Good. Then I will show it on the slide. In the bottom you see a website where you can find a lot of information about this ethnographic museum. There you can visit Kazakh house and a Russian one, and you can learn a lot about the history of Kazakh people and unknown information about Russian people lived in our area and in Russia at all. In conclusion, I'd like to say that you always are welcome to our unique lake. And first of all, you can come here by car. In 2010, there was built a new road. If you are very courageous and if you like extreme, you can drive your Land Cruiser across the steppe, because there is a shortest route from Volgograd, Volsky and Leninsk. And of course, the most comfortable way to come here is train from different parts of Russia. So you see that our lake is very unique and attractive. And at the end, I would like to give you some useful advice. Take spray insect repellent, because there are a lot of insects in the village. Don't be afraid, there are none of them on the lake. You should bring cheap rubbers or plastic slates, because as you see, it is a salty lake with a bitter salty water. And of course you need a permission of our border management if you travel by your own, because Elton is situated near Kazakhstan in the border area. Thank you for your attention, and you can visit this website and find more information about our local wonder, the Salt Lake Elton. Thank you for your attention.